So I'll present to you the World Water Lab, which is a consortium of water labs across the world empowering science into the emergent properties of water through collaboration. That's how we are saying our group now. We are investigating the emergent properties of water because it's broader than only homeopathy or anything else, and we thought this was a nice scientific term. I will tell you the purpose. Our purpose is to collectively lay a strong scientific foundation for emerging water science. I'll get back to all these points later, but I want to give an overview. It's to spread new ways to think about water, to develop and share new scientific methods across disciplines, to provide convincing evidence and high-quality research, to accelerate solutions and new applications using emergent properties of water, and to contribute to public or private, fundamental and applied research projects to build a living library that safekeeps the historic and current water scientific evidence, and to create more efficient and cost-effective research, as well as to help the paradigm shift from a mechanistic view to a field view. And this is in a way that no individual can do on its own. We have to collaborate. Dus that's our purpose. Who are we? So we are an evaluation of individuals and organizations interested in advancing the science of emergent properties of water. We launched in 2021. It was initiated by myself and within the World Water Community, which is a much broader space for anything related to water. It started out of the water conferences that were annually organized by Jerry Pollack. I don't know if you know him. It's the annual conference on the physics and chemistry and biology of water. And it's for scientists of different disciplines and backgrounds, as well as entrepreneurs, inventors, therapists, consumers, intuitives, artists, designers, indigenous communicators, and educators, and more. So it's much broader, the World Water Community. The World Water Lab is also broader than the World Water Lab scientists, but we are all embedded in this bigger picture because to understand water, we need all these different aspects. So the story, how GIRI and World Water Lab meet. We just met this. No, we didn't have any pictures, I realized, but we met at the water conferences, and then Alex asked me to help him set up a lab in Heidelberg to study the properties of homeopathic remedies. And yeah, so there, the two worlds where I come from is to study water treatments that are not homeopathy, but like water vitalization, people call it, or imprinting or inflammate water. And we had been studying for years those things in our private lab, and Alex wanted to use some of the techniques that we were doing to see how we could investigate homeopathic remedies. And so in our lab, we met like where I could say, okay, water is influenced by each other. You need to put it more far apart. You need to think about the electromagnetic radiation. You need to, and he was like, okay. Does my printer emit Wi-Fi and stuff? So it's really the collaboration about what we have experienced from our experiments with water versus what maybe has been done in homeopathy. As well as much more what we bring is also, working with healers and therapists who sense more things than what we can measure with instruments. So, we need to take some of those hypotheses and sensitivities into account when we start to measure our water. It's not only, okay, press a button and we can see the difference between control and our test. So what we investigate, all kinds of unusual aspects of water, we call it. Why are we seeing this other stuff? We investigate, for example, new phases of water, exclusion zone, water memory. We have everything between quotes because we can think about how to define that, but people call it like that. Water memory, structure, organization, coherence, water and consciousness, behavior of water adjacent to certain materials on nanoscale in confined spaces, ultra-high dilutions, of course, just such as homeopathy. The most important thing is behind the thing, so quantum electrodynamics and other theories underlying our work. Water vortexes, flow forms, geometry, what are the aspects of that? Water programming, storing, transmitting and retrieving information, these types of terms. Water and subtle energy, water sound, harmonics and frequencies. In the back is, for example, a cymatic image of water with a certain frequency made by John Stuart Reid. And water and energy. Water respiration is what Vladimir Voykov talks about. Water treatments like purification, vitalization and energizing, and all kinds of applications in health, agriculture and climate. We have many people in our group that have a lot of applications in those areas and have also shown nice results. Water crystallography, maybe some of you have known about the work of Emoto, but also of Veda Austin. And in general, water life in life and nature and spaces. So it's just everything that touches, and we are studying more the little group that we are, water properties in general. Okay, so milestones. In 2020 we created the World Water Community Platform, which is really like a platform where anybody who's interested in water can do Facebook-like things. It's groups around different subjects of water. It's not only science, but also how to help your water in your local watershed to revitalize, to clean water, to know anything about water. There are also even meditations groups who do stuff with water. And we launched this World Water Community Platform during World Unity Week in June in 2021. And then we initiated the World Water Lab in November 2021, where we sent out the first email to a lot of water scientists that had been coming to the water conferences if they were interested to collaborate in science. Then we established also the World Water Community Foundation and Company, so it's a charity and a company to be able to handle a lot of things. And we organized the first course on quantum electrodynamics in condensed matter, the amazing liquid water, with two or three other webinars by Paolo Renati, because one of the most important things for me when I started the World Water Lab is to build a solid foundation underneath our science. And this is what he can bring. In 2022, the first online meeting with these groups, and we officially launched the World Water Lab at the annual water conference in 2022. After that, we had 19 online educational member meetings presenting and discussing our work. Those stopped in January 11th, 2024, because we went into more dedicated group meetings, but we will revive them again. In 2023, we started the textbook project, and we can go into that later, but we can discuss that further. We had bi-weekly textbook workgroup meetings since December 2023, and we had a first in-person textbook writing workshop in November last year, and we even had our first paid consultancy project in 2023, where we are like collecting questions from entrepreneurs who want to study their water, and usually they try to do it themselves or find people, and they asked me, and I said, let's do it via the World Water Lab, because your question I can answer, but I think somebody else in our group is better equipped to answer it. So we were like the broker, and had a nice, one of our members did the research, and the World Water Lab was helping them do that. In 2024, we had one of my projects was funded. It is related to preserving water science for the future. And we had our second in-person workshop for the textbook. We presented again at the water conference, and we are now convening for this. And after this, today we have our third work group on the textbook. So why the World Water Lab? It's to connect and discuss further to understand water. In general, we are all individuals in our own labs doing a lot of things, and we are not in a big group to really have different disciplines to ask questions and see what we are doing. So we really need to create some kind of cohesive collection where we regularly meet and can ask questions about what we are studying. And okay, there was a reason to use the enormous potential collective that we collectively have, because in this whole water conference group there were so many people with different ideas and history of study, even inventors and entrepreneurs who can feed our science. So we really need to know that we exist and listen to each other and get the other hypotheses. Oh, I have to do that. To cross disciplines and skill sets. Now, of course, water touches all disciplines. If you want to study water in the aspects that we were doing, like, okay, we have a device or a water treatment and we want to see what the effect is, you can do that in a cuvette in a lab, or you can test the effect in the agriculture field or with your patients. But this requires a big range of skills, and also knowing if you do something physically, what does it actually mean chemically, and can you make a mistake if you think only biologically. You really need to see from different aspects, because pressing a button on a machine is not going to give you the answer if you don't understand actually what the whole system is like. So we need to discuss together. And we need to help the paradigm shift from mechanistic to field view, where we all need to start looking from our different perspectives in a new way to understand all the wonderful aspects of water. To share equipment and expertise. Many people are buying their own equipment again and again, and some people are not using this equipment and they are pressing the button, like I said, and then I come to a colleague and I say, okay, well, you also have a near-infrared machine. You have pressed the button, yes, but you are looking at noise. So we need to really understand what we're doing and learn from each other, and we can even use each other's equipment because we are all not well funded, so we can learn from each other that way. And to share contacts, because, for example, in the lab in Heidelberg, we wanted to test some things ourselves in the lab that we could do, and then we had to test with HPLC, for example, to get the actual components to see if it's not contamination. But you need to know then who is willing to do that for you, because you're not buying also your own HPLC machine. So if you can actually know that these contacts who are willing to do our type of research, then we can continue much further. To share contacts is important. To sidestep dead-end efforts, this is one of the things I actually was discussing in the car with him, that if you are going in one direction and you are starting again your own experiment that somebody else has done for years or tried, then it's better to discuss before you start than to do it afterwards and hit your head to the same wall. To replicate findings, to build a solid science, and to share protocols. This is of course very costly to replicate findings, but we need to do it because we have examples of people in the field building their scientific tower on one thing and doing their own experiment in the same room all the time in the same way, and building statistical evidence based maybe on things that are not actually what we are looking at. So we need to be able to replicate each other's work and see where maybe some things could be improved, or what is really shown from their data, or what might be maybe some kind of artifact. And to develop new scientific methods that fit the nature of water. Because if you study water, water is always in touch with the environment, temperature, humidity, let alone ourselves. We have discussed that. electromagnetic fields, anything, the moon. We need to think about how to incorporate that, because water is in touch with everything, and if we study life and that together, we cannot only, we can always continue to take one perspective, but it would be nice to understand the whole system, and that might require new scientific methods, like with traditional Chinese medicine. You went to the NS1 clinical trial. With homeopathy, you're also doing that. You cannot, you can think of a black box, or it's not that we should be doing that, but there needs to be maybe a new type of way to incorporate all these other aspects in your experiments. Okay, then there's maybe some things that are not so relevant for you, but it's bridging between businesses and consumers, because our work is often used and cited by people selling devices, and they are maybe using our references for something that doesn't match what they are actually doing. So we need to understand or educate them. I'm not saying they are always doing it wrongly, but they need more education to understand what our science actually means for them, and then we can build together further, as well as just feedback. And consumers are sometimes misinformed because their water is structured and it's nice to drink, and then, okay, what does it mean? Because you don't know if it's healthy or not. As well as what I just said, we did that for one party already, to consult for testing and research projects, so that we can make sure that the quality of the project, the research, is high and their money is spent well. To educate not only others but ourselves, there's a lot of things that individual people have to say, but we have sometimes no time to listen or to dive deep into a subject. For example, with the theories, we need to spend time on learning what we actually have learned ourselves. And to define terms, that is also related to the audience who uses our science. What do we mean by structured water, and if the word structured is actually a good word, or we should say something else. Okay, to share overhead, increase efficiency and optimize use of funds. That is for companies, if you are working with us. And to collectively support and fund fundamental science. I know many companies who are doing this type of research, and then they invest some of their money, and then they think, I want to understand water, and then they dive into the subject of trying to understand the fundamentals, like we are doing, and that's like 10 years of effort, but if they can collectively find us, we can think with them to build solid research projects. Then there is a lot of pioneering water scientists that are leaving, and even like Marc Henri passed away. There's a lot of knowledge, and we would like to safekeep and collect that knowledge as well, and build a living library, which is also for unpublished work, because a lot of pilot studies have been done by companies or other people, and together maybe we can dissect data from that and review and comment on it as well, about what we have tried and to replicate and stuff, because some of the things we try to replicate in our lab and in other labs, it's not published, but it's valid tests and trials, but nobody can find it, and then somebody else tries again. And if you speak at a water conference with people, you said, yeah, this guy tried and this guy tried and we couldn't replicate. And you have so much unspoken and unpublished knowledge, we can build this maybe in a living library. We have an issue of young scientists that are not joining or not daring to join this field, so we need to create some more solid basis that they feel that it's grounded and they can join something that is moving somewhere. We're building that. I'm not saying we are there yet, but this is something we would like to do and set directions for future research. Furthermore, also to address the opportunity, this is completely something like regarding applications, because water science and what we are all bringing has a lot of solutions for the current issues in the world, like in agriculture, but in health as well. Energy, industry, and climate. Industry, for example, some kinds of waters can reduce the clogging of the pipes. In agriculture, you can reduce the water use by 40% if you treat the water. In health, you know, a lot of things. In energy, there's also a lot of options to do with water. Just as a few examples. So we don't want to limit the applications before we understand what is actually working. So there's also something there that we can say, okay, it works. We don't know why, but please try it, because we need to help everybody. So we provide for you access to experts from other disciplines. We try to raise the quality of research by reproducing, replicating work, falsifications, developing hypotheses and protocols, and sharing equipment, to strengthen the scientific reputation, trust and credibility, to increase the visibility for us, for funders and amongst each other, knowing also what we do. And we provide the ability to take on and participate in bigger projects larger than one can start alone. And we hope to eradicate competition for the same funds if we start to work together. Increase efficiency through search and learning course. You can learn from each other before you start, and everybody could focus on what they're good at. If somebody is very good at statistics and you are struggling, then why not have somebody in the field that is good at statistics? One can do that better, well, and because we can really not learn everything ourselves in the depth that we need. Okay, shared purpose, spread education, and access to other perspectives via the water community. For businesses, I said, the flexible workforce, reduced expenditure, drastically reduced overheads, increased efficiency of funds, access to high quality water science, and the opportunity to test devices against some of the quality marks that we intend to create. And we have guidance and consultancy on research projects and questions. This is for businesses. For students, they can find information and material about water science and find and develop their projects. And the general public can discover anything about water and learn about different quality solutions on the market. This is one of our Zoom meetings. In some faces you might recognize. This is what we do regularly. And two of our in-person workshops where we were discussing the textbook project with people. Most of the people are here. And our scientific members include these people. Not all have joined our meetings yet, because some people joined after December 2023, and then we didn't have the regular meetings yet. We also have 17 other members who support the World Water Lab initiative. And yeah, we can include anybody who wants to help us. Our common intent is to thrive, be respected and well funded, because most of us are not thriving, not well funded, and also not always respected. So we really need, if we can build something solid, we can do that. While bringing forth discoveries and solutions related to water, of course, and really also the solutions. We can solve a lot of things, and maybe the money will come from that area where we are solving stuff. And as a result of that, of deeply understanding and living by the essence of water, I really hope that we connect to water in a deeper sense and see what water actually is, and that we are water, we are one. Water connects everything, and most of our community are deeply aware of that. Sometimes we forget, maybe when we are doing the science, but water is our leader here, I hope, and that will help us to achieve more. So you can become active to sign up to the World Water Community newsletter. It is, like I said, a platform with forums, groups, events, courses, listings, a market, maps for all people interested in water. And you can join the World Water Lab through a brief registration form. I'll share the links later. And what we really hope and our core values are that we are open to new ideas, and really transparent, respectful of each other, critical and self-critical, which is sometimes difficult, engaged, humble that we might not be able to understand life in the fullest sense, and therefore in awe of the wonder of water. But we do want to bring our field further. Okay, so where to find us? Maybe you can make a picture of this. You can contact me, of course. The World Water Lab is registration form is found via that link. The website is on the first slide. And the World Water Community newsletter can be signed up there. It's something easy to do. If you want to join the community, you can also register for the community right away. Yeah, the images were by John Stuart Reid, I said. And we all do this because we believe water is the source and the solution for a lot of things. So that is it. Okay, well, that's it. If you have any questions, tell me. You can go. Yeah. Yeah, you know, you can go, and I will explain something else. But they want you to. They can help you put this on.
I can do it alone.
Does anybody want to say something regarding this? I'm holding this for the audience there. It's feels yeah. Yeah.
I think you had word very important. Independent.
Yeah, independent.
Your
Independent.
Group,
yeah. Yeah.
Group is not related to a company or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You're really
Yeah.
independent.
Yeah.
So
You want to,
very
yeah.
easy to work
Yeah.
with this.
And
Yeah, we have no
I can
any,
put, here.
yeah, and we don't want.
it's okay. Yes, wait that I keep this off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I
We
put
really
in,
want to be
fly
independent
mode.
and develop freely our stuff. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations for the presentation.
Oh, maybe people want to hear that actually.
Oh, that's not important, really.
For Anna, I don't know. Sorry, I should have said it for you.
Sorry, just thank you so much for your presentation. It was very inspiring, and I just want to know if I got it right. If I want to join your crew, I should go for that form in there, yeah?
Yeah, you could. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, all right. So it was just that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you can also.
I'm joining that, just to tell you.
Okay. Well, welcome. That's nice. It's also found through the World Water Lab, and you can always ask me. Yeah. Okay.